All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of E Creeks Outdoors. If you guys can see what I'm doing here is I'm trying to European mount and maybe hydro dip this deer skull. Well, and hydro dip this deer skull right here. So that's what this video is going to be about. And I don't completely know what I'm doing. I've done this once before, a long time ago. So I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants. Basically, if you watch like 2 videos ago, it was on like the whitetail gun season day 2 video of mine. You can go back and look at it. I was talking about that deer head where basically my cousin had killed that deer. We let the head, we started like European mounting it. We started cleaning the head off. We never finished it, and the head was sitting like out in my pole building for like a year, and it was all nasty then the next year. And so we had to boil it and get all the old meat and stuff off. It smelled so bad. Then I pressure washed it after boiling it for like hours, and it basically was almost all the way clean. It still smells a little rank though, so I'm afraid there's still like some meat and stuff in there. So what a lot of people do is they buy like this like hair bleach stuff like from a salon, which I have. I bought, and you put that all over it and it turns the skull white. But first I'm putting it in like some bleach in water, just to I'm hoping that bleach will eat any remaining stench and meat or anything that's still inside of the skull. So doing that now, and then probably after that we'll bleach it. I'm hoping I don't have to boil it again, but I'm gonna let it sit like that for like probably like a day or something like that, maybe 2 days. But try not to get any bleach on the antlers so they don't turn the antlers like a different color. So very tricky, but it's sitting there. So stay tuned for this episode, guys. I'm also a little sick. If you can hear me, I'm talking a little nasally. So I'll see you here in like, I don't know, whenever I film again, because it might be a day until that thing's done. Okay, guys, so what I have been doing here for like the past little bit is I actually did not let this sit overnight, this deer skull. I let it sit like 7 hours or something like that. But now I am trying, there's still like little bits and pieces of meat on it, and I've been picking at that with like these forceps and like actually this nail, just to try and get in the little parts here and get the meat off of it. And unfortunately, I'm thinking I'm going to have to boil it again. So, if I get my phone here, hopefully you guys can still see me. So, like there's so many little places on the skull of a deer, like in all these little nooks and crannies up here, and in the teeth. I picked all along these. You have to get like, there's little pieces of fat and meat and stuff that just won't come out. You can see here I've been picking. This is all just little pieces that have come out. You know, like when you're European mounting a deer skull, like it's basically you're just getting like, first you start getting big pieces, and then they just keep getting smaller and smaller until you just about go crazy trying to get them all. But if any of you guys are interested in dentistry or anatomy or anything, I found, look, this dude's got like a little weird abscess growing on his tooth there. But it's kind of neat. There's like another one over there. And it's kind of neat just checking out how the deer's built. But so we're going to boil this thing again. It's going to look really good when we're done. Actually, the bleach helped it clean it up some. It doesn't stink. It just smells like bleach now. And it's going to look really good when we're done. So we're going to boil it again here tonight. Oh, I didn't even put the water on yet. So I'm going to put that water on there, get that boiling. And then we'll put the deer head in there. And hopefully that'll take the remaining bits of meat off of it. All right, guys, so I've pretty much got about every little piece of meat I can off of that deer skull. Now I'm gonna let it boil. I'm not gonna let it boil for too long because I'm very worried about how like brittle the deer skull is getting. So we're not gonna let it boil for too long, maybe just like 30 minutes or 20 minutes or so. I don't know. we'll have to check on it. But we're gonna let it boil. Hopefully that gets any remaining little pieces of meat off of it. Then we're probably just gonna let it sit in bleach and water for the rest of the night. Then after that, guys, I have this like cream like bleach developer used for like hair and stuff like that. I guess, yeah, used for hair. This is like the highest volume one that you can get, most amount of bleach in it, that you can buy like over the counter. So after I do this, let it sit in bleach and water for this night. I'll rub that like all over it. We'll let it sit like that for like a night, and then we will do the hydro dipping probably like that. So while that's in there, guys, we actually have this old like, it's like our family name sign. It says the Cregan's family established 1988. I found this in our pole building when I was like cleaning up, and I want to put it on this wall back here. I want to film more videos out here. That's why like I put these lights up. These things, I think these are supposed to be used for like incubators, like when you have chicks or something, to keep the like chicks warm. But they work great as lights out here. And I got a nice little setup out here and cleaned this all up. But I have a great idea for like to put a little backdrop here for my videos and stuff. So I want to clean this thing up. So like while I'm waiting, I'm just gonna sand this down a little bit, wipe it off, and then I'm gonna put like some wood stain on it. So that bad boy looks absolutely minty. Ooh, looks so good. I think we'll probably put some paint in the letters there. That didn't really get all the way in the letters. But I think it's time to check on the deer head, which we already checked on. I checked on once. Just picked off some more of the meat, but I think I'm going to call it quits on it. I think just about everything that I could get off, I've gotten off, so. Okay, y'all, so I actually changed up plans a little bit here. We got a new pot of water, which we are bringing to a boil. And I was kind of wondering how I was going to go about bleaching it. I haven't done this in a while. I last did it, I don't know, years ago when I was in high school. And I'd never used this like hydrogen peroxide, salon, bleach, hair stuff before. So I watched a YouTube video, and what this guy did was he brought a pot of water to a slow boil. Then he put with the skull in there, and he put the this stuff right in there with it. Let that boil for like 8 to 10 minutes, and that bleached it white. So I'm hoping that is what works for us. He did say that if you leave it in there too long, it'll kind of eat away at the bone, which we have some of that with ours already, where like you can see here, this broke. This one's breaking. It's getting really thin and brittle. This also, we just left it out here for a year, so like it's not a big deal if something breaks on it. It's not like super huge worry. But if you're doing this yourself, maybe be aware of this. This stuff gets very brittle here, so do it right away and take good care if you're going to do your own. I did one other thing here while you guys were, or while I wasn't filming, is I broke out these little pieces right here and right here. It was suggested by this guy in the YouTube video I watched. He called these the earbuds. He said just break them out. Helps so, you know, nothing builds up in there or anything. And we're about ready to go, guys. Now what I have to do is I have to wrap these antlers up because they're going to be in the water a little bit so that the bleach does not get on these and affect this beautiful, nice, like rustic, cool color of the antlers. So we got our bleach stuff here, and this is going in the water. And that's what's going to turn it nice and white. All right, y'all, so we're actually going to pull it out now. It is whiter, but I'm getting worried that it's just getting too brittle, which has like been my worry all along. And yeah, so I think the reason that it is like too brittle is because we let it sit for like so long. It sat in here for a year, like rotting and getting nasty with like still meat on it. So then like I had to boil it for so long just to get like that nasty stuff off of it, because it was like connected like so strongly, like binded to the skull, the meat and stuff. So see how like now where it's boiling, you're starting to see like this black and stuff. like under. It's almost like under the bone. I just think it's been going for too long. So I'm gonna call it quits on the boiling and bleaching and everything, and we're going to hydro dip it tomorrow, and I hope that it will be good then. Since it's getting hydro dipped, it doesn't need to be like perfectly white, but it is looking pretty good. Woo, guys, it is finally fun time. So now we are about to hydro dip the deer skull. Got some spray paint. Basically what you do is take a bucket of water, fill it up, clean water, cleaned out, make sure there's no dirt or anything in there. You put different colors of spray paint on top, you keep spraying it, and then when you dip it in there, I'm gonna cover up the antlers, and it'll make a sweet design on the deer skull. If you screw it up once, it's okay, you can just keep doing it until you get it right. So that's what we're about to do. Let's get it. All right, y'all, so we're just about ready to go here. We got our deer skull here. I'm gonna tape these antlers up, and then we'll get our colors here and get to dipping. We have some like silver here that looks super cool. Nice clean white, and then a green. And I think mixing these three together is gonna give us a badass look on this deer skull. So I'm gonna tape up these antlers real quick, and I'm super excited. Cannot wait to see how this turns out. And just puts a big thing of spray paint, and it'll start to go to the outside like that. So I think the trick to in this part of it, guys, when I did it before, is just go nice and slow, and you want to just make sure you don't get any on the antlers. I have this nice tightly wrapped. Don't want to get any up here. And then when you're done, you just take something, you brush the paint away, and then pull it up. So here we go. So it looks pretty thick already, but I didn't get it completely covered in paint yet. So we're gonna give it another dip. Alright guys, so this dude here is officially done. Luckily it balanced perfect on its antlers, so it is drying right now. I'm hoping not to get any like paint bubbles. There were some that I had to pop, but took me a couple tries, was not going perfect. I had to like basically do it 3 times, and I spray. What is like a good idea is to like, after you do it maybe the first time, spray paint some of the spots that like didn't get any paint on them, and then do it again, but let it dry first, because then when I did it again, like some of it just came off. So, but it turned out good. I think it looks really good. I touched up some of it with spray paint, but I really like how it turned out. I think it looks freaking sick. Completely covered, and I think my cousin Gus is gonna think it looks sick. Really cool idea, guys. You can do it at home. Hydro dip your own deer skull. It's fun just to do it yourself, just to try things on your own. And it actually turned out really good. Okay, here real quick, guys. I don't think I showed enough real videos of what it looks like, so I just want to show you guys here. It's completely done. One thing I did up by the antlers here, it didn't get completely covered on this side, so I took a Q-tip. I just sprayed a little bit of like spray paint onto like trash bag, and then I put the Q-tip in it and touched up there. I think it turned out really awesome. If you guys do get any on the antlers, I took like just some Dawn dish soap and a little scrubber they use for like scrubbing dishes, and kind of scrub some of the paint off that got onto the antlers. So you can pretty much scrub that stuff off. And I think it really looks amazing, guys. I hope you liked it. And get out there and hunt, guys, and you can get awesome stuff like this. It really turned out wicked. Thank you again for watching this episode of E Creeks Outdoors, guys, and my crazy adventure trying to hydro dip a deer skull myself. Keep doing cool stuff, guys. Live adventure style, and I'll see you on the next episode of E Creeks Outdoors, guys. Peace out.